Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we have Kaaren Hall with us, and Kaaren comes from Arizona via Iowa and to the Northern Arizona University and into IRA. So Kaaren, it's great to have you. I just love to hear kind of how you got to where you are.
Bruce, thank you so much for inviting me to be your guest today. I'm really grateful. Yeah, I never lived in Iowa, but my mom is from there. So I've got Norwegian genes going back to Iowa some couple hundred years ago. So that's cool. And then, but my history, Arizona, right? I went to NAU, graduated and was a radio announcer for 17 years.
What?
Yeah. And then from there, I made the logical transition into real estate because that's what we do, right?
Oh, yeah. Every radio announcer goes right into real estate. Yeah.
Every one of them. Because, well, you want to actually build some wealth, right? So how do you do that? And you do that typically through real estate. So I got into this space as a mortgage loan servicer originally, and also loan servicing and then loan origination. I did both of those for a number of years. And then during the Great Recession, about 2007, I when you couldn't make a mortgage, right? I jumped into the self-directed IRA space, worked for another company, and then a couple of years later opened uDirect, IRA Services, the best company in the world.
Oh, the best company in the world. Let's not, play it short. All right.
It's just what it is.
It is what it is. Okay, so tell us why this is the best company in the world.
Oh, wow. Well, because we help people, we're a service company, and what we help people do is build their retirement. Pretty much no one is really prepared for retirement, and we need to work on this. At the very least, we need awareness of where we want to be and how to get there. And self-directed IRAs, which is what my company provides, is one of the many vehicles that can help you have a better retirement. So that's why.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. So in your self-directed IRAs, you also invest in commercial real estate, which this audience is very interested in. So tell us how that works.
Self-directed IRAs can invest in alternative assets. So I guess I should step back and say that when the IRA was created, when Gerald Ford signed the ERISA law into effect, which is the Employment Retirement Income Security Act, an acronym, that created the IRA, 1975. So this is the 50th birthday of the IRA. Happy birthday to the IRA. And ever since they were first created, you could always self-direct them. So self-directing is maybe a more modern term, but you've always been able to invest in anything with an IRA except life insurance contracts and collectibles. Everything else is okay, pretty much. So we can go deep on that, but that's what self-directed IRAs are. They're retirement accounts that and with the self-directed account, you can invest in commercial real estate. And it is the number one asset class that people do invest in through syndications. A lot of times people don't have enough in their IRA to maybe buy a whole hospital or a strip mall, but you can have an equity share through your IRA, typically, as you know, when you're accredited. And then your IRA can make that investment, and then the proceeds go back in the IRA, tax-free or tax-deferred.
So let's see if we can decode the mechanism here. So people will give your company their IRA money. Then you will take that IRA money directed by them to put it into, say, a syndication, a real estate syndication, and then the IRA will hold the money for X period of time, and then depending on the syndication, it'll roll back out or roll back in, whatever is happening there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly right. Open, fund, invest. Now you open an account, you fund it by giving us the contract, the paperwork, whatever it may be. Maybe it's an offer to purchase if your listener is investing in real estate directly, or it could be, the subscription docs, the operating agreement, if it is a syndication. And the IRA is the investor, not you personally. So that is important to know. It's not a personal investment, it's an IRA investment. Now you own the IRA and the IRA owns the asset. So it goes like this.
Yeah, but that's a critical point, is that you are not actually directly owning this piece of real estate, so to speak. Your IRA is owning that particular piece of real estate.
That's right.
So what's the typical amount that someone might put into a real estate syndication?
Well, syndications in general have minimums, and sometimes it's 25, sometimes it's 50,000. But you'd ask the asset sponsor, how much they're raising. I mean, it could be 100, 200, 250. I think the average IRA is about $150,000. People do like to diversify, but it just depends upon the individual investor and how much they wish to invest.
So that's interesting. The average IRA is $150,000 total, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many years might that be in? What's the average amount of years that somebody's in an IRA?
Right. It's hard to say, but I'll tell you where the path of how an IRA gets that large. And it's typically you have jobs, it's not typically the 20-year-old that's there right away because you have contribution limits, right? You can only put so much in. So typically it's somebody around, in their 40s maybe who's been at a couple of jobs. And in the course of being at a couple of jobs, they have acquired 401ks, they've contributed to the 401k, then they leave that employer and roll that money over into an IRA and maybe work at another company, build their 401k, roll that over into an IRA. And that's when an IRA gets large enough because today, the top contribution, say for a traditional IRA, is $8,000 if you're 50 plus, $7,000 if you're under 50. So you're not going to get to $100,000 very quickly if you're only making contributions. Typically, it's rolling over a previous employer plan.
Oh, that's interesting. So typically the 401k, can you put 7 to 8,000 in a 401k? Is that the limit there?
401ks have a more generous limit. 401ks have contribution limits. I mean, up into the $30,000 range, depending upon your age and how much you can put in, because there are employer contributions, employee contributions. So annually, you can cap out your contribution, and typically there's an employer match. Now, that's a 401k. You could work maybe for the government and have something called a 457. And it's very similar to the 401k. Or if you're a nurse or a teacher, you might have something called a 403b. So these plans, they all start with 4. All of them are employer plans, and you can contribute to those. They grow, and then you can transfer them into an IRA if you wish.
So can you do that even though you're working for the same company? Can you transfer them into an IRA at any point?
That's a great question. Typically, the answer is no.
Okay.
But there is an exception, so I'll mention it. So the exception is that you can ask the plan administrator, okay, usually it's the company that's holding, the funds, if you qualify for what's called an in-service transfer, like you're working for the company, you're in service, and do you qualify for an in-service transfer? Typically, the answer is yes if you hit 59 and a half. Sometimes that is a golden bell, that runs, that rings, and then you can move your money. Or if you worked at company A and it was acquired by company B, so the money from A went to B, and now you want to do an in-service transfer, the money from company A typically can be transferred, but you're typically going to leave the money from company B in that 401k. So this is, if you've got questions, first off, you can call us. We will always talk to you. We offer a free 20-minute consultation, no problem. Ask us your questions, or hit us up at info@udirectira.com and say, hey, this is my situation. What can I do with this? And we'll help you and guide you through that. But yes, if you work somewhere with a 401k, you may be eligible for what's called an in-service transfer.
Well, so if you're kind of stuck in a 401k, you don't really have any control, right? The 401k is doing all the investment. No?
You can balance your portfolio, and you definitely you can log in and balance your portfolio, and you're going to do that typically based on risk. If you're working with a financial advisor, and then they can help you to balance the portfolio, and usually it's balanced with things like mutual funds or index funds or something like that. So we're spreading the risk over a lot of different kinds of stocks. But I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice, but this is typically what 401ks look like. Now, if you want to invest outside the stock market into the alternative asset space, that's what the self-directed IRA is for. Not just commercial real estate, but like precious metals, cryptocurrency. Your IRA can be the bank and lend money to people, or invest in performing and non-performing debt. Lots of different asset classes. So you can diversify into the self-directed alternative space.
Well, okay, wait a second now. Let me just
Yeah.
back up for 1 second.
Yeah.
Can you have a 401k and an IRA?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So you could, are you still limited how much you can put into either one or both?
Yes, you are. You've got contribution limits depending upon your age. Usually there's something called a catch-up contribution, and when you hit 50, you can typically contribute more. So yeah, so there are caps to how much you can contribute, but get this, no cap on how much you can earn. I mean, ask Peter Thiel, right? He had a multi-million-dollar IRA. There was no cap on how much you can earn, but there is a contribution on how much, or a cap on how much you can contribute.
Each year, yeah. So it sounds like, am I incorrect in saying that if you have a 401k, you may want to actually take out an IRA because eventually maybe you'll roll everything into that IRA if you have an opportunity to do that.
You can do that, or you can open the IRA when you leave, your place of employment. You can do it then. Now, you bring up something that I probably should mention, and that is a Roth IRA. So if you wish to have your money tax-free for life, one of the qualifications for a Roth IRA to be tax-free is that you've had a Roth for at least 5 years in your lifetime. It's called the Roth clock. We call it the Roth clock. So you want to get your Roth clock ticking. So you can always open a Roth IRA, and you want to talk to your tax advisor about how much you can contribute and so forth and what that looks like tax-wise. But a Roth IRA is after-tax dollars. But you do want to start a Roth IRA no matter what, whoever it's with, and start that Roth clock so that when you do turn 59 and a half, as long as you're 59 and a half, you've had a Roth for 5 years, that's when the Roth money, the proceeds from Roth and all those dollars come out tax-free. So you have to meet those qualifications for Roth to be tax-free.
But correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't the Roth have to go into education, or am I mistaken?
No, it doesn't. No, I think that Roth was a senator, and I think he had some other bills. But a Roth IRA is the special kind of IRA. It's the newest IRA, and it was created in the 90s. And the Roth IRA does let you invest and have those proceeds grow tax-free. You put after-tax dollars in there, so you already paid tax on the contribution. But then you invest, and the proceeds are tax-free for life as long as you meet those two conditions that we talked about.
And again, you can take those proceeds and put it into commercial real estate or investment groups, so to speak. All right.
And then say, for example, you don't have enough money to make a commercial investment all Roth. So what you can do, maybe you've got this 401k and it's pre-tax, move it over to traditional IRA and do what's called a Roth conversion. Convert those dollars that you've rolled over, convert them from pre-tax to Roth.
Oh.
And so then maybe you'll have enough there in the Roth to invest in commercial real estate and have the whole asset be tax-free for life. Now, when you convert, the amount you convert is taxable to you. We'll send you a 1099. That's going to go to your tax person. You will pay your regular income tax rate on the amount you convert, but you pay that tax now while you're earning, and then you can have the free Roth dollars. I mean, ideally later when you retire and you're not earning.
So you don't do financial advising. So I suspect you get a lot of people calling you saying, "Hey, here I've got all this. What do I do?"
Right.
So how do you handle that situation?
Well, I recommend that people educate themselves. And this very podcast right here is one of those ways to educate yourself, because maybe this is brand new to someone. Maybe we're kind of filling in the gaps for somebody who already knows how to do this. But just get education. And with the internet, with YouTube, with meetup groups where you can go in person and meet people, there's just no limit to the free education that's out there for you to start learning about this. Like, wait, how does that work? And I'm just going to throw in something too. By the way, I did write a book. So here it is. There we go.
Good.
I collaborated with Bigger Pockets this year. It's a Bigger Pockets Guide to Self-Directed IRA Investing. And so you can find this on Amazon, but there are so many great resources to learn about self-directed investing in alternative assets.
Well, okay. I think we could talk another couple days about this, but
Yes.
the moment, if somebody is in a tizzy about what to do, how can they get a hold of you, Kaaren?
The best way is to email us at info@uDirectIRA.com, uDirectIRA.com. Our whole staff gets that email, and that way we can respond right away and help you out. Maybe you want to schedule an appointment to talk to somebody. Maybe you've got a general question, what have you. That's the best way to start. And look at our website too, which is uDirectIRA.com, and you'll see that we have a very robust blog. If you have any questions, you can just type it in and you'll find an answer. We have hundreds of blog articles that talk about self-directed IRAs, how they work, and different scenarios.
And you'll be contacting the world's best company, right?
The best company in the world. That's right.
Best company in the
That's
world.
right.
Okay. All right. Well, Kaaren, this was great fun. I look forward to talking to you again. It sounds like the future is going to be very robust for the IRA world.
Oh, definitely. Lovely. Thank you.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.